Hi, everybody. Welcome to the galley, which is kind of like galley on the move. You don't know what's going to be behind me these days. But currently, I'm still in Colorado, and I'm dog sitting for my friend Sam. He's got this cute dog named Theo. And so I'm here dog sitting. Sam has a good kitchen, and Sam has lots of goodies in his kitchen. And one of them is, ooh, doggy. Just look at this beautiful, enameled, huge Dutch oven. Isn't it gorgeous? Now, honestly, I'd buy this just for the color alone. The color is amazing. But so, of course, I want to take advantage of this big Dutch oven and do a couple things in it. And the great thing about the Dutch oven is even if you don't have a huge Dutch oven like this, if you have a crock pot, pretty much whatever you do in your Dutch oven, you can do it in your crock pot. So if you want to do this in your crock pot, just simply follow along. In the end, it's not maybe going to have the brown skin on top, but you're still going to end up with a really beautiful dish today. And today we're going to go really homey, really comfort food, and we're going to go with the whole roast chicken. Now, one of the biggest reasons that I want to do this whole roast chicken for you today is because you know that I am on this mission for everybody to stop buying those rotisserie chickens because they are injected, and it's not like you can just take the skin off. Injected into the meat are phosphates, sodium chloride, there's gums in there, there's carrageenan, so there's just so much things that you do not want in your food. Some of them have as high as 550 milligrams of sodium per like 2 ounces of that chicken meat. So this is just me trying to help you just start roasting your own chickens, or even if you do that in the crock pot, but just to get you away. And then we're going to have all of this chicken, not only for our great Sunday night roast or whatever kind of roast, but then you're going to have leftover chicken, and then we're going to do some fun things with our leftover chicken. Now you want to get your whole chicken patted really dry, and get all the stuff out of the inside. I like to trim off any little excess fat that there might be. Now I like to do a really flavorful butter rub for my roasted chickens, but if this is something that you kind of just want to get done and get done fast, you can absolutely salt, pepper, a little olive oil, and go. But we're going to do this really delicious herbed butter here for this, and I'm going to start with a stick and a half of room temperature butter. So I really like to do fresh herbs here, and I want to do about 2 teaspoons each of fresh rosemary and some fresh thyme. If you don't have the fresh, just absolutely substitute dry here. So I just love the fresh herbs when you can do it. In the summer, I always grow fresh herbs on the back of the boat. And right now, I don't know, if you're on Facebook, then you probably saw the picture that I put on of the boat with the snowing all around her, and the snow on it looked really beautiful. But I think that my big rosemary plant outside will probably have to be replaced when I eventually do get back to my girls still away. So we're going to add those chopped fresh herbs to our butter here. And then, of course, we want salt and pepper, probably about a half a teaspoon of pepper and a good half a teaspoon of your kosher salt. I have 5 cloves of garlic that I've diced. And then I want to do the zest of a lemon. I've got 2 lemons here. You're going to use 2 lemons for this. So we're going to start with the back, and again, you just make sure that it's really dry, and that's going to help ensure that your butter or your oil or spices, whatever you're using, is going to stick. And we're just going to rub her down with some of that butter. And then we're going to flip her over. And then I want to put this butter up underneath the skin. And one good way to do that is to get yourself a spoon and just kind of work it up underneath that skin there. And you can see how that loosens it up. We're going to do both sides. That side was pretty loose. And then we're going to take that butter and push it up under there. And then that's just going to melt as it roasts and just really make those breasts really flavorful. And then once you get it under the skin, I just kind of like use my hands to kind of smush it around and get it all incorporated up there. And then we're going to take the rest of that butter and we're just going to pat her down with all of that butter. Do your wings. You can cut these little tips off if you want. Put them in your stockpile if you want in the freezer for bones you have for stock. Or you can leave it on. So next we want to stuff. Now this is the lemon that I zested for the butter. So up in the cavity we go. As much as you can. I have a fairly large shallot that I just kind of cut into quarters. You could do an onion, you don't have to do shallot. And again, we're going to get that way stuffed up in there. I have 3 cloves of garlic that I smushed earlier. And then the leftover thyme. So I'm going to do a couple thyme sprigs and a rosemary sprig. And we're just going to go all the way up into that cavity. And if I can, I'm going to finish it with that last little piece of lemon there. So now that we have her stuffed, now you kind of want to tie her legs together. If you don't have kitchen twine, it's perfectly okay to not. I like to do it, but don't feel like if you don't, it's not going to turn out well. It's going to be fine. It's going to turn out just fine. Basically, you just want to bring these 2 legs together. I like to go kind of zigzag around like that. And then we're just going to, maybe my hands are slippery. Pull that up and tie it. Give that a nice tie. It just kind of helps ensure all that goodness stays in there and a little bit of even cooking. Cut off that. I've lost a little butter. Now we're going to set this aside and we're going to get on to our vegetables. So now these are the vegetables that I have. You can just roast your chicken in here. You don't have to have all these vegetables, but do something like some carrots just to put in the bottom, just so your chicken is not sitting on the bottom of either your Dutch oven or your crock pot, just so your chicken has something to set on. But we're roasting this chicken and this is going to develop all these beautiful flavors, so we might as well roast us some vegetables with it, don't you think? Now you can just go your basic here, celery, carrots, and onions. I have added parsnips just because I love them. They're really good for you. It's just a great thing to have. I have done fennel because I love fennel. And I just did 1. You could do 2. Kind of depends on your family how much they like it. I just did 1 today. Keep this, because this you want to chop up really fine. Chop up some cauliflower and roast this with your cauliflower. Trust me, you will thank me later. And then my scraps, I put in here, like my celery, my carrots, all my scraps, because we're going to use this chicken carcass to make us a light chicken broth to make us a bowl of soup. And I just wanted to talk to you about my carrots. Now, most all the vegetables, as you saw, I just kind of did, something like you want to get served on your plate. And I always cut my carrots so that they are not round like this, because when your carrot is round like that, it's like the perfect size of your esophagus, so you can easily get choked on it. So it's just a habit of mine that I do for my carrots. And then depending on how much onion you like, you can go 1 or 2. I'm just going to go 1. I like the flavor it adds, but I don't know how much it's going to get eaten. So I'm going to peel the outer skin off because I think that gets dirty, and then the rest of this is going into our stockpile. Now, if you really love onions and like roasted or braised onions or roasted onions, you know, the little pearl onions or the cipollini onions are really good for this. So we're just going to do all of that. I did about 3 or 4 sticks of celery. I did 1 parsnip about this size, depending on how big they are. Your parsnips, you might want 2. And then I did about 4 celery, and then I just cut my fennel up. And then we're going to go with some thyme and some fresh rosemary and a few whole cloves of garlic. So now that you get all your vegetables in, we're going to cover that with, again, our kosher salt, probably about a teaspoon of kosher salt, fresh pepper, fresh cracked pepper, about a half a teaspoon, and then about 2 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil. I mean, this chicken's going to sit on here and roast. Isn't that going to be amazing? And then we have that other lemon. Looks like I got some of my butter on my microplane here. So we're going to zest this lemon all over this. And then we're going to squeeze the juice of this lemon into here. So let's get her zested. Now I have my oven preheated. I like to do mine about 375, but you can do this about 375, 400 degrees. And then you're going to do, for like a 5-pound bird, about 15 minutes. For a 6-pound bird, you're going to go about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And for a 7-pound bird, just keep adding about 15 minutes a pound. Do you hear that kitty? There's a kitty here. Hi, you hear the kitty crying? So I'm going to go ahead and juice all of this lemon into here. And to that, before I add my chicken stock, I want to give this a toss. I'm going to toss all of this up. Doesn't that look beautiful? I mean, and then on top of that, we're going to add a cup of chicken broth. You know, sometimes even though I prep everything up, I forgot the potatoes. We're going to add some potatoes in there. This is about 1 pound of little potatoes. If they're whole, if they're tiny like this, leave them whole. If they're bigger, again, we want to cut these into a nice size. It matches what we've already done. So again, I have about 1 pound of little potatoes, and I really like the mix just because I think it looks so pretty. All the different colors, the purple, the red, the yellow. So we're going to add these potatoes, and then I'm going to give it a stir again. If there's 2 of you, which is normally, like for me, it's just Billy and I, and you have all of these leftovers and leftover chicken to do things with. I'm going to do a couple videos to use up the leftover chicken. So I'm going to put my chicken on. I don't want the top to touch my chicken. So I'm going to kind of push all these beautiful vegetables to the side and kind of make a little hole down here. And then I'm going to sit my chicken on there. So now that we're all ready to go, into the oven we go. Now I'm going to cook this about 1 hour and 15 minutes because I'm going 375. I kind of really like that kind of slower temperature. I know a lot of times they want you to crank it up to like 450, but I like to do it a little slower. 1 hour and 15 minutes, 375 for my 6-pound bird, and then I'll see you when she comes out, and we're going to pop the top and put her back in to give her that nice crispy crust. Oh, just look at that. We're out of the oven. I wish you could smell it. Now, I can't find Sam's thermometer. This is what I use for chocolate. I brought me one here so I could make some homemade candy bars for Valentine's. But you really want to go to 165 degrees here. Check in here in the split of the breast and the thighs for your temperature. And we are at 170, so we're good here. If you don't have a thermometer, just kind of poke your chicken and see when the juices run out. Let's see if I can get it to do that for you. See how those juices are running out of there and they're completely clear? Then that's how you know. So if you're doing this in your crock pot, then you're not gonna get that brown crispy skin on top, but that's okay. You're still gonna have a beautiful chicken. I'm just gonna let him sit here and drain for a minute. Let all those juices run out into there. I looked for a platter and I couldn't find one, so we're gonna go with this bowl. I'm gonna take that twine off of there. So I think I just kind of decided for now I'm just going to do in a separate bowl all these vegetables, and then I want to strain off all of this beautiful liquid down here so we can make a little gravy. So I have this strained off. Now you can just serve it just like it is. It's thin, but it packs a lot of flavor. Or you can put it into a saucepan, bring it up to a simmer, and we're just going to make a little cornstarch slurry to thicken this up. And quite honestly, this is the easiest way to do this. Now this isn't a whole lot of liquid here, so I'm just going to do about a half a teaspoon of cornstarch. I don't think this is going to take a lot, and it kind of depends on how thick you want it. And then I'm just going to add a little filtered water to that to make a slurry. Now this is the quickest way to thicken this up. The other way is to make a roux. So I would do like a tablespoon of flour, tablespoon of butter, make a roux, and then add your stock to it. But this is really the simplest way. I also think I want to taste it. Ah, it's really delicious. It's bright from that lemon, and it has so much chicken flavor. So for your Dutch oven, super easy Sunday roast. Just look at that beautiful chicken that we made. I can hear us boiling over here. Let me get a whisk. So when you come to a boil, we're just going to slowly whisk in our little slurry here. Let it come back to a boil. Let it cook about a minute, and then you're going to have this nice thick gravy. And just, you know, we did all of this really in 2 hours. You have this beautiful dinner. It's fresh. It's beautiful. I love roasted carrots. So perfect. So I hope you enjoyed Dutch oven whole roasted chicken. And we got some videos coming for what to do with some of this leftover chicken. So keep watching, y'all. Thanks, y'all. Ooh, I hear us bowling here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'll see y'all later. Bye.